Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to be here congratulating Algemeiner on their anniversary, and particularly to introduce Michael Gove. It's been a privilege to know Michael, first as a journalist, and then as a fast-rising politician at Westminster. It's been ever forward. As you'll shortly discover, Michael is a gifted speaker whose wit and questioning intellect took him from a job as an editorial writer on The Times to senior cabinet rank. You'll see Michael up here in his full robes as Lord High Chancellor. And it's just a pity that it's caused much merriment, that picture, amongst his friends. It's a pity he didn't wear his uniform tonight. The left-wing New Statesman describes Michael Gove as one of the most dazzling politicians of modern times. It, quote, a parakeet amongst pigeons. He's the politest man in politics, if sometimes a little abrasive, a charmer who cultivates his enemies. He is pious, loyal, and incurably irreverent, both as an operator and an orator. He's a conservative with a fierce aversion to unearned privilege. Today he is Lord High Chancellor and Secretary for Justice in the new Conservative government, elected partly because of Michael's reform of Britain's failing schools. In 4 years as Education Secretary, he clashed with entrenched teachers' unions and revolutionised the way underachieving children were taught. A system in which, as he put it, rich kids do better than poor, clever children. Today, as Lord Chancellor, Michael is taking on the reactionary lawyers lobby as he drags Britain's antiquated courts and prisons into the 21st century. In his spare time, as a keen student of international affairs, he read a widely acclaimed book, Celsius 7:7, about militant Islam and the timidity of the West in standing up to its liberal heritage. Britain's political landscape changed on Friday, February the 18th, when David Cameron returned home claiming victory in his negotiations with fellow European leaders on Britain's right to control its borders. For Michael, that victory was worth little more than the paper it was written on. It failed to deliver the fundamental reforms that had been promised. So in the evening of the 18th of February, Michael Gove's scepticism about Europe had crystallised into a brilliant critique which now stands as a defining manifesto for Britain's campaign to leave. This placed Michael Gove in direct conflict with his personal friends, David Cameron and the Chancellor George Osborne, whose political lives depend on Britain choosing to remain in Europe. His decision required qualities rare in modern politics: integrity, intellectual rigour, and rarest of all, personal courage. As he explained, if at this moment of decision, he said, I didn't say what I believe, I would not be true to my convictions or my country. He stands surprised some fellow Tories, but not those who have known him all his political life, especially his wife and newspaper columnist Sarah Vine, who's here tonight. Oh, thank you. Excuse me. And as Sarah wrote, my husband has many odd and occasionally irritating obsessions, but few things trump his dislike of the European Union. His profligacy, the back-scratching, the deceit, the endless bureaucracy, the unstoppable march of European federalism, and above all else, the erosion of British sovereignty. This passion dates back to his childhood in Aberdeen, the adopted son of a fish merchant driven out of business by the common fishing policy. He's been fueled by his experience in ministerial office. So much now depends on the outcome of the referendum on June the 23rd, just 3 months before polls. So now, your honoured guest is being talked about as a potential Prime Minister. So ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Right Honourable Michael Gove. Thank you.